From the late 1960s to the late 1990s, Northern Ireland saw more than its share of violence and murder during a time known as the Troubles. Over 3,500 people were killed during this tragic conflict, roughly half of them civilians. The history leading up to the Troubles goes back hundreds of years after the Anglo-Norman invasion of England into Ireland in the 12th century. There were various economic, political, and religious factors resulting from this. But to simplify things for the time from the 60s to the 90s, the Troubles had two main opposing sides. On one hand, a mostly Protestant and loyalist group who wanted to stay as a part of the United Kingdom. On the other, mostly Catholic Irish nationalists who wanted a united Ireland with nothing to do with the UK or those who sided with the British. Even though Ireland got its independence from Great Britain in 1922, the 6 counties of Northern Ireland stayed with the United Kingdom. Incidents leading up to the Troubles included the formation of the UVF, or Ulster Volunteer Force, the creation of the Provisional Irish Republican Army, or IRA, and the Northern Ireland riots in 1969. British troops were deployed to Northern Ireland in 1969 to counter the growing disorder surrounding civil rights protests, which were met with violence from the Republicans, who resented the British's methods and presence. In 1972, during a protest march, British soldiers shot 26 unarmed Catholic civilians, killing 14 during a massacre which came to be known as Bloody Sunday. A particularly infamous group emerging from Belfast, known as the Shankill butchers, were active between 1975 and 1982 and were responsible for the deaths of at least 23 people. Their leader, Lenny Murphy, was murdered by the IRA in 1982. Despite numerous bombings and the killings of civilians on both sides, international media attention wasn't truly present until a hunger strike in 1981, after the IRA leader Bobby Sands and 10 of his fellow political prisoners died from starvation in jail, fighting for their cause. The Prime Minister at the time, the Iron Lady Margaret Thatcher, barely survived an assassination attempt by the IRA in 1984, after becoming a hated figure for her role in the Troubles during this time. She's still despised in much of Ireland today, despite her death in 2013. Peace talks began in the 1990s, and the majority of the violence in Northern Ireland came to an end with the signing of the Good Friday Agreement in April of 1998. The British and Irish governments, and several leaders and factions, came together and dedicated themselves to peace, bringing an end to 30 years of division, violence, and murder.